This is Denise Povernick from InnerStrength U. I am very excited to be here. We have a special guest coming on tonight. Chase Sutphin is going to be here. So how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. So take a moment and tell everybody looking, watching, participating, who are you, what you all about?
Awesome. Yeah, my name is Chase Sutphin. I am a father of five. I, with my wife, own Soy Clever Candle company. We started this business with our five kids to teach them about entrepreneurship. And one of the big things, the big takeaways with that is how to do it without going into debt. And that was a big stickler for me was that one of the things I try to teach them is the second you take a loan from somebody, you've switched off trying to figure out any other way to do it. And because that was easy, you're done with it, you don't need to worry about it anymore. And what I'm trying to help them understand is there's always a way. It may take a little bit longer, it may take a little more work, but you can still get there. So I do that with my wife and our kids. I also own Sleepy Mountain Web Designs. We custom build WordPress sites for businesses. We try to work with small to medium-sized business owners to basically get their ideas and their dreams onto a website for them, and also building mobile applications for membership sites as well. So, oh, and a big thing, we are in the process of selling our home and converting a 78 passenger Thomas school bus into our new home that we will be using to travel a little bit and spend some time with our kids and just to kind of get away from the normal sitting in a house and working the 9 to 5 lifestyle.
That's awesome. So wow, where do we begin with all that? So first let's talk about the businesses, right? So you have this wonderful business that you're doing with the kids and Tressa. So what are their roles? Like what responsibilities? What are their ages? Again, remind us of their ages and the roles and responsibilities that you give them.
Sure. So our oldest is 10, and he helps with a lot of different things. Now, he's not as personable. He doesn't like to be out in front of people talking. So he likes to try to, he's always asking if he can be the one to write the blog. He helps us with processes behind the scenes. And he's really big right now into wanting to learn the website design side of it as well. So he'll be probably be the one taking over some of that from me. I'll teach him how to do it as he gets a little bit older. Our next one is 7. She is our salesman. She is through and through the one who.
Let her know I'm hiring. I'm hiring.
Oh my goodness! Like she will learn it, and she will tell people, no, this is the one that you want. This is how you need it. And she understands the process really well. So that's her big role. Is she likes to be the one to talk to people. She's very personable. And they're not all that way, and that's fine. Not everybody's going to be outgoing, so we don't try to push them into something that they don't want to do. The next is 5, and she wants to be hands-on with everything. She's very process-oriented. However, we don't let her pour anything like hot wax or any of that stuff, so she's usually the one putting the stickers on, putting the wicks together, and putting those in place. Sometimes they're a little off-center, so we have to help her, but she helps with that. The 3-year-old puts the stickers on, and they're usually always off center, but she, she's there.
Right.
And
Yes.
then our 19 to 20-month old, she just kind of yells at everybody.
Well, there you go. She'll be the manager of it all eventually.
She's
right?
the manager. She's telling us when it's time to stop and start.
There you go. So you definitely need that whole crew there. Okay,
Absolutely.
now about the website design. So
yes.
So in addition to business owners, like do you do people who are setting up blogs, like all that kind of stuff too? Or is it just?
So I do, but I'll be honest with you, the individual blogs are a little bit, usually people don't want to spend what it's going to cost to have a website developed with that.
Okay.
So I'm actually in the process in the next few weeks, maybe a month or so, I'll be doing a challenge on that company to help people decide if buying or building a website is right for them. And then we'll lead into a course on helping them build their own WordPress site. Because for somebody doing an individual blog, it's not really, it's really more to get their brand out, but it's not a business driver. Like for a company who is driving people to their website every day, there is specific value that comes from that website in their revenue. And a blog really isn't used for that in the beginning. So one of the things that I do want to do is help people who are on the lower end budget be able to do the stuff themselves and be able to provide them with tips, provide them with shortcuts and the things that we didn't, or that I didn't know. So when I got into web design, it was because Soy Clever Candle Company needed a website, and I've been in IT for a long time, so I figured I can figure this out. And I went through a lot of headache, and there was a lot of things that I didn't understand that I had to figure out. And in the end, it probably would have saved me a lot of time and money to have paid somebody else to build it for me. But I learned something that I really enjoy doing now, so it kind of became a blessing in disguise. One
Okay.
of the things I want to do there is provide people with those things that I didn't know and that I kind of had to stumble through, as far as how much time it's going to take you. The individuals who will contact us and say things like, I've got my website, it's 85% done. I just need you to do the final touches to make it look pretty. It takes a lot longer to do that than it does to build it from scratch, because I don't know if I make an adjustment, what else it's going to mess up on your website. So a lot of times it's easier to just start from scratch, or make that decision that you're going to do it, and invest the time it is going to take to learn how to do it.
That's awesome. So do you have pages on Facebook for both of the companies?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
We have
So
at Sleepy Mountain Web Designs and at Soy Clever Candle Company.
okay. And then also now tell us about the school bus.
So the school bus. So Soy Clever Candle Company got an opportunity to be a national sponsor this year for the Sundress Big Hat brunch event, and they asked us if we would do it. And Tressa, being the unicorn magical creature that she is, was like, "How can we participate?" Because one of the things that we got out of being a national sponsor is we're giving um, a ton of candles for this, for all of their events, but we get to be there. We get to be set up. We get to be a vendor at all of their events. So Tressa was like, how can we be at all of them? So I said, well, we can sell our house and get an RV, travel, and go to all of them. And then that turned into a lot of research and turned into a school bus. And so uh, we bought a bus in it was January 19th of this year, and we spent the first 2 months gutting it and trying to get it renovated in order for us to take it on the road for the first trip. We did not hit our deadline. We missed it, but it was okay. And to be honest with you, we took that opportunity to go down as a vacation. It was the first one that we had taken in probably 7 years, and it was long overdue, and it was really nice to just kind of disconnect from all the stresses that I had of trying to get the bus ready by a certain day, and just kind of reset, because now we're back and we're ready to finish it up so we can move in.
So then the big question is, what the heck would possess both of you, right, to start a nutrition program on top of all of this? Before you answer that, I got your Chase the Bus and I got your Soy Clever Candle. What is the Facebook page called again for the website design?
Sleepy Mountain.
Is that 2 words or one?
Two.
Okay. All right, I'll find it.
Sleepy Mountain Web Design.
Okay. All right. So what would possess you to go with all this craziness going on? Let's add some more craziness of doing a nutrition program.
So I kind of got pushed into it, but to be honest with you, it was one of the best things that could have happened. It was something
let's tell the story from the very beginning.
I'm going to tell it. Tressa wanted to do it, and so did I. We both were looking for something to be a little more consistent, to provide us with a meal plan, provide us with a structure, to make sure that we were eating the way that we needed to. We've been eating organic. We've been eating the right types of food for a long time, just not the right amounts and not the right combinations of food. So she started doing some research, and she found you through Kelly, and Kelly Roach, who is our mutual business coach. We've been working with her for a few years, and we've been blown away by everything she's told us. But one of the things that she's always said is, you really got to take care of yourself. You need to focus on you. If you don't focus on you, then you're going to be stressed out. You're not going to be performing at your peak capacity, and you're not going to be able to do what you really could do. So it's going to hold you back. So Tressa had some goals this year of really wanting to move forward with making sure she's taking care of herself. And she finally said, I'm not letting anything get in my way. And she went after it. She saw you, and she's like, this lady likes unicorns. this is a match made in heaven. So she got connected with you. She started on it, and she said, "We're doing this together. You're gonna eat everything that I eat, and you no substitutions." Denise said, "You cannot substitute anything. So you have to eat what is on my meal plan." And I did. And for 3 weeks, I thought I was gonna die because I was hungry all the time. I was shaking half the time because I was so hungry. And so Tressa reached out to you and was like, "Hey, like, should he be eating a little bit more, or is because he's been following my meal plan, and he said that like he's always hungry." And Denise was like, "He should not be following your meal plan. It's not designed for him. He's a lot larger than you are, and he needs to accommodate for that." So that's what possessed me to say, you know what? Tressa, if I don't have it printed out from a nutritionist that I need to be eating this, Tressa is going to assume that I need to follow hers. So I said, you know what? It was a good meal plan we were following anyways, and it was very similar. I have had to make more adjustments to mine than Tressa did throughout the program, but it's been really nice to meet every week and see those things that need to be adjusted in order to accommodate for any energy crashes that I may have, or any of the spikes in hunger during certain times of the day.
So what did you find? Because you've done different things in the past, have you not?
Yeah.
What do you find that's different about this?
Well, the accountability is the biggest thing, right? I mean, because most of the other programs that I've done have been, you sign up for something, but you never talk to anybody. You sign up for something, and they tell you just don't eat this or don't eat that. We never really did a diet like the fad diet, so we didn't get onto Atkins or the keto or any of those things. Because I always kind of felt, and so did Tressa, that completely cutting something out of your diet probably isn't healthy for you. But we didn't know what was different. A lot of the things that I did in the past were workout programs and stuff. I signed up for every freaking thing in the world, P90X and all that stuff, which when I was working out all the time, it was great, but I was eating crappy. So I can't even imagine and like the stuff that I'm doing now, I can't imagine if the amount of time I was spending in the gym before, if I was coupling that with proper nutrition and eating 6 times a day to maintain that throughout the whole day versus eating. Basically, I always skipped breakfast. I ate 2 huge meals throughout the day, and that was it. And I was always crashing, and I always felt horrible. My energy was like I was never like in a positive mood about anything. So, this program, one, it's listed out like exactly what we need to do. 2, there's accountability. So if we're missing something, if we didn't hit it, it's nice that you're not like screaming at us about it, but you do say like when you got to make an adjustment, like there's no way for us to know that this is working if you don't stick to it. If you're not following this, or if there's a reason that it's become difficult, then let's make an adjustment to make it easier for you to actually maintain what you're being, provided with.
Mm-hmm. I still owe you a hollering about broccoli eventually, though. We'll work that in there somehow.
Go for it. I love broccoli. I'll eat broccoli all day.
Yeah, me and broccoli, we don't go way back. We really don't.
Yeah, I hear that.
So with this, and okay, so we got the fact that we didn't kill you eating Tressa's. I appreciate the enthusiasm. So, and it's been a little bit of a slower start for you, where we're doing a lot of fine tuning because of your hectic schedule that you have and trying to get everything in. So where do you think your click point finally was?
So when I came back, so prior to going on that vacation, I was still working full time, working multiple jobs. So outside of these companies that I own, I was also a security engineer. I was also running an apprenticeship program for a cybersecurity company as well. So I was doing a ton of things. I was stretched all over the place. One of the issues that I had was just not being able to get to the gym like I wanted to, not being able to commit to prepping all of my meals. I may have brought 3 of them with me, but then I'd stay at work longer and not be able to have my 4th and 5th meal before I made it home. So I just didn't eat, or I'd go grab something quick. So I think one of the things that kind of clicked for me was when I got past that and when I kind of pulled some of the things off my plate to say, I've got to focus on this. Like this has to be a priority. And if I don't make this a priority, then I'm not doing anything different than all the other times where I, only took this part or only did this part. Like there's a reason that the plan is there and I need to follow all of it and make sure that I'm making more of an effort. So,
Yeah.
I talked to you this past week about saying in 2016 when I was running and doing Spartan races and I was like probably at one of the fittest times of my life, I wanted to run a half marathon and build into a full marathon, but I never did it. So that's my goal now is to train for a half marathon. And basically what I've asked you now is like, hey, I'm going to run every single day. And I just need to make sure that my nutrition is at a point where my body can sustain me running like that every day. And, you know, and that's my plan. And
Right.
like the biggest thing for you, like that I think that was really helping me was the telling me that I need to maintain a run journal to document how I feel prior to, during, and after, so that and then throughout the rest of the day too, so that I can figure out did increasing my run or running longer distances have any effect on the meals that I need to add into it, so that we can make adjustments and accommodate for it. I mean, in the last 2 days, I've run almost 12 miles, which I haven't run that much in a very long time. So it's nice to be back in a run schedule. And I've got a program that I'm using for that too that's going to help me kind of stick to a very specific 45-day process to be ready to hit a half marathon.
And I'm glad that you found that thing that works for you because I listened to it for a few minutes and I was almost going out of my mind. So kudos for you I think I'll start on Tressa with that would be like
To be honest
before,
with you, like it's very difficult to do it when you're not running. Like to listen to it
yeah, to
drives
just
me
listen.
nuts too. And
Yeah.
even though like they do some that are not run based, that's like weights or whatever. I can't
Right.
do those. Like I'm like, nope, this is not gonna work.
So you went to the gym today. How do you think your workouts feel now that you're so about 6 weeks into the program or so?
Mhm.
How does it feel versus memories of you working out in the past?
So as far as being able to sustain the energy and stuff, I feel better throughout it. I think I've talked to you before from a mental standpoint. It's that hurdle, getting over it. Like everybody says, the hardest part is getting moving, right?
Right.
Once you get moving, then it's just
Moving.
kind of everything, falls into place. But once I make it into the gym, right? Because pulling into the parking lot, I'm still trying to talk myself out of going in. And once I get in there, and once I say, no, I'm here, I'm just going to go in, going to do my workout. And then um, once I'm in it, I'm paying attention to things that I never was before, like at what time my knee starts to hurt, or at what time I feel a cramp, and then I pay attention to did I drink enough water today before I came to my run, or was I pushing it off thinking I'll just catch up on my water later in the afternoon. So there's things that my exercising, I'm heavier than I used to be, so it's harder on my body. It's more difficult, but 6 weeks in, it's a whole lot easier than it was, six
Six
weeks
weeks
ago.
weeks ago. Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm able to maintain longer workouts more consistently, and I'm also seeing that my heart rate come down faster after my workout. So like when I'm doing my runs, I'm in like the peak almost the whole time during the run. But once I stop and I start my cool down process, I'm down into the green within 45 seconds or so. Like it doesn't take me long
Oh,
to
you
get
know.
my heart rate back down. So that's, I think, just awareness of what's going on. I never really paid attention to when I was hurting. It was just that I was hurting. So I
Right.
didn't really notice, you know, am I doing something wrong? Is it form? And there, so those are things that I'm actually starting to do more research on now is proper run form and how to
Mm-hmm.
hold yourself and how to not swing your arms and how not to cross over. So there's things that I'm paying attention to now that before it was just I ran and that was it.
Right. And that's a really great point of what is actually happening in the process that's happening here is you're turning into an elite athlete because this is exactly the mindset training that elite athletes have in order to take their to the next level. And we've had the pleasure of working with a few athletes, and that's the thing. And even for me, going into the gym, I had a hard time, and I've been going into the gym since I've been 16, because for the longest time, women weren't really into bodybuilding. It was a rare unicorn you would see in the gym. It's a lot different now, which is wonderful. But so I would train with the guys all the time, and I wanted to know, like, what did they think when they're sitting there before their set? What's going through their mind? Like, really pulling out what goes on in there, so that that's something I can duplicate. And it's amazing, the more that you talk to those people and in shape at the gym and so forth, and you really start to pick their mind, you realize that there's this whole science behind this, and this is what we're bringing to whether you ever decide to compete in in bodybuilding or run a race where you're going for first and second. Like, you have that mindset, and you stop seeing working out as working out, and now you see yourself as an athlete. And the really nice thing that I've learned as I'm getting older, it doesn't matter what the day on the calendar says or how old you are or what the scale says. It's what you decide in that moment, what you want to do. So just seeing you guys taking this and running with this is very, very powerful. I just wanted to let you know, you got a shout out from Brooke Hamilton saying that you're awesome.
So thanks, Brooke. That lady never sleeps. I don't know what's going on with her. She's in Australia, but she's always online. I'm like,
she's everywhere. Yeah, I get that a lot too. It's like, here we are again. Okay, so now let's make this a family affair. I saw Tressa just joined in. Say hi, Tressa. So how is this? You guys doing this together? What does that mean for you versus doing something on your own?
It's definitely very good because of the support you get, right? It's different when you're doing something and the other person's eating. If I'm eating grilled chicken and asparagus and she's eating macaroni and cheese and cheeseburgers, then that would be crazy difficult for me to maintain that, right? So, like, there's been other things where we've been very supportive of each other's things, but that was their thing, right? So when I was doing the Spartan races in the beginning, it was my thing, and she helped me, and she, made sure that I had time to go train when I needed to, but that wasn't her thing in the beginning. Doing this together, we're keeping each other accountable. We're also, we're supportive because the other person isn't sitting there, eating tons of junk food in front of somebody who's trying to eat healthy. So being together or having a support system it makes it a whole lot easier than trying to do it by yourself, or again with somebody who's not supportive of you at all.
And do you get the kids involved at all?
Yeah, they have to eat what we eat. I mean, they're
prep and exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Trust is getting ready to do her workout right now, and at least two of them are going to do it
I've
with
seen
her.
The pictures.
So they want
workout.
Yeah, they want to be involved. They want to do the workouts too. So now
awesome.
A couple of them are like whatever, but as far as the food goes, we make it available to them. Our 7-year-old is asking for salads all the time. She doesn't put we don't even have dressing in the house anymore, so she's asking for apple cider vinegar or water on hers, but no, we're not loading it down with the junk that we used to. So we give them the opportunity to eat our stuff, but we're not forcing them. So there's times where we're making our food and then macaroni and cheese, and then our food or peanut butter and jelly. So there's things like that, and and it happens. And there's nights where they have a pizza night, and we're over there eating grilled turkey or something. And we're like, yeah, pizza smells good over there, but.
So what we got, Tressa says, Amani says hello, and yes, they exercise. So tell me about your free meals. What have you chosen? Because once a week you can have whatever you want. So what have you chosen for your free meals when you've had those opportunities?
Honestly, our free meals aren't much different than our regular meals. We may just add a little something extra to it, or we may have ice cream one night or something, as a dessert. And occasionally we'll have a glass of wine or something instead of, just the water. But our free meals really aren't that crazy. Well, when we were on vacation, that was different. Tressa took us she took us to breakfast on the beach, and she was like, she's been talking to me for years about these pancakes that they have. So I was like, No, I'm having pancakes. We're going here. I'm having
Okay, free
pancakes.
meal.
So, those types of
Free
things.
meal time.
Yeah,
Nice.
we were doing free meals, but for the most part, even on our free meal days, they're still the food we normally eat. We may just add a little something else to it.
Well, I know you're going to be excited because pancakes are coming. That's going to be one of the videos. Protein pancakes.
What?
Yeah, yeah. We got some good things.
Yes.
We got some good things coming in. And each
Cool.
of the videos, when the videos, it'll say this is something for week 8, week 9. Once just make sure you have approval. It's not right from the very get go. So that's the other thing. Like, so from the beginning, I'm saying things like you wanted to do some juicing, you wanted avocados, and I'm saying to you, they will come back in. They're weeks down the line. So what did that feel like to you? Was it something that was hard for you to work through? And did you really think that I was going to bring them back in?
It was hard to work through. I mean, I didn't feel like you were lying. I mean, you seemed genuine telling me that, we'll get back to that. We're just trying to give you the baseline.
Right.
Um, but we did eat a lot of avocado before, and juicing, honestly, anytime that I'm working out or I'm in like a health food where I'm eating healthy, juicing has always been a part of it. So it was hard for me to go into eating meals that are, planned out and portioned appropriately and not incorporate juicing. That was a little tough, but
It's back
getting to
now.
add it, yeah, getting to
Yeah, it's
add it
back.
back in is nice. So I'm happy that it's back.
And seeing how we're going to pay attention close to the next 2 weeks with all the extra running and exercising, because we may be able to add a second one if you want for an energy boost. So
Cool.
yeah, once we get that full 2 weeks in, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so here from your standpoint, what would you tell somebody who's been with us the past week and a half, and they're on the fence and they're saying, okay, well, this is quite an investment? What would you say?
I mean, it is an investment, all right? There's no lie about that, but any time that you want anything positive, you have to invest in yourself, right? So whether you're investing in education, you're investing in training, you're investing in nutrition, like can you go out and do this by yourself? I'm sure there's been tons of people who have done it by themselves. I've tried, lots of people have tried. If it didn't work for you before, probably isn't going to work for you again. But having somebody there to hold your hand and tell you exactly what to do and guide you in the direction, it's an investment that's worth it because you're just investing in yourself. And most of the people here are business owners or entrepreneurs or doing something or busy moms or not able to keep up with things or busy dads or people who are working crazy hours. You're not going to get it done on your own. So making an investment in yourself is just going to make you more energetic and more efficient and all those other things that you're doing anyways. In today's world, nothing's getting slower, everything's getting faster. So I would say take the chance, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised in the outcomes that you get and how much better you feel throughout the day just from the nutrition. I know you've talked about it throughout this week because I've heard you talking about it, but the scale is going to go up and down throughout the program, and as long as you get through your mind that I feel amazing. Who cares what the scale says? And you see those numbers making the adjustment in the sizes of your measurements,
Yeah,
that's what matters because as you feel better, the numbers are going to come off. And as you keep with it and you keep, and just because you start off and say, um, I need you to do 500 calories of burning per day. Well, that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way because we may find out that very soon, you're able to do a lot more than that in a cardio session, and you want to do more than that in a cardio session, and then you're just going to see better results. So, you
absolutely.
know, investing in yourself is never a bad investment. So,
Yeah, and the way this is designed for you to see it through, right? One last thing, then, what is in your mind? What is that really just makes this stand out from all the other things out there?
you,
Oh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you.
yeah,
And what about that? So please tell people I'm not too scary. Just a little bit scary, but not too scary.
not scary at all, like
Oh,
not
thank you.
intimidating at all. No, I
Yeah.
mean having you there and getting an opportunity to ask the questions and to get feedback from you. And there, there's things that, I see at the store and I'm like, oh, I should get this. This says healthy. And then, I'm like, hey, should I get this? And you're like, send me the nutrition labels. And and then we discuss it. Or you'll ask me like, why? No, but you tell me why I'm saying no. So getting those things and helping me to understand why that's happening, like I'm not gonna get that anywhere else, and nobody's gonna get that anywhere else. Like Denise is the differentiator, Curvin is the differentiator. Like this is a power team, and together, like Curvin has popped in on multiple times in our one-on-ones and like, hey, let me give you advice on something that I ran into very similar to what you're having the same problem with right now. So like I'm now almost at 2 gallons of water per day because of the same problem that he had with, hey, increasing his water. He was able to see that he was able to run further. He was able to, do better breathing techniques and that type of stuff. So, you two are, you're the differentiator.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I want everybody to make sure, remind them again where they're going to find you.
You
Here,
can, you can find me everywhere. So
everywhere.
Chase the Bus, Sleepy Mountain Web Designs, and Soy Clever Candle Company.
Thank you again for being here tonight. Thank you, and Tressa, for sharing everything that you did. All right, guys, thank you.